Hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we're gonna be back looking at another UFC fight night. Upcoming UFC on ABC in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Jailton Almeida. Now, first thing I'm gonna say about this card, first and foremost, not bad. Not bad. This is actually a pretty solid fight night. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. They usually treat the ABC cards with a little bit more care and love. Like, it's not like they're putting big, amazing names on here. I feel Jailton Almeida is gonna be a big name eventually, and Smith and Walker kind of big-ish, not really, but like, it's a solid fight night. I'm not gonna lie to you. They have some fun fights on here. Jessica Rose Clark versus Tanara Lisboa. I struggle with that so hard. Some fights are better than others on this card. Lisboa not really seemed to be UFC caliber so far from the competitions she's faced outside UFC. Jessica Rose Clark doesn't seem to give a damn about her career. I don't want to pick either of those two. I'm gonna go with Lisboa just because Clark's on a pretty poopy streak. Brian Battle versus Gabe Green's pretty decent. Gabe Green, I see, is a favorite, but Brian Battle, he's from North Carolina. He just had a bad run in his last fight. I think he's gonna get it done. I think this should be a decent fight too. Ji-Yeon Kim versus Mandy Bohm. I like Ji-Yeon Kim because she's nice, she's sweet, she puts up some decent fights, but she's not all that. I don't give a damn about Mandy Bohm, but also I think she's slightly better than Ji-Yeon Kim. I'm gonna say if you're trying to bet, don't look at. Pete Rodriguez versus Natan Levy. Now, Pete Rodriguez dropping down to lightweight kind of concerns me, but if I remember correctly, this fight has been pushed back, so now we should have some more time. I'm gonna wait for my decision on this fight, to be honest with you, because Natan Levy, he gasses pretty poorly, like pretty badly, and Pete Rodriguez is pretty decent. Like, yeah, I know he took a bad beating by JDM, but who hasn't JDM beat? If Pete Rodriguez looks good on the scale, doesn't miss weight, whatever, I'm gonna lean towards him actually, even though he's a pretty decent underdog. But if he like barely comes in, if he's like 155 and a half or 156 or he misses weight, no, I'm going to Natan Levy. Then Cody Stamann versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. I'm gonna lean towards Cody Stamann because we've seen better from him. Both guys are a little bit up in the years for bantamweight, but I feel it should be a pretty decent fight. I'm leaning towards Cody Stamann. Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman. I was supposed to see this damn fight live at 287. It fell through. I believe it was Sherman who pulled out when it was originally supposed to also be who was it supposed to be? Oh, it's Chris Barnett or no. Who was it? Was it Barnett? I can't remember. Regardless, I'm going to lean towards Carl Williams. Chase Sherman is a sacrificial lamb in the heavyweight division. I don't think highly of his skills. And Carl Williams, while he's a little green, he's got really good wrestling. And I feel like he's going to easily inch out a decision. Matt Brown versus Court McGee. Old. Far past their luster. Almost washed up. But they both are that same level. So I feel they'll put on a banger of a fight. That's simple as that. Matt the Immortal Brown, he's a legend of the sport. If you don't know Matt Brown, by the way, if you don't know Matt Brown, here's something pretty special for you. See those 16 knockouts? 12 of them in the UFC. Do you know what's the the record for most knockouts in UFC? It's 13. Number 2 is Matt Brown. Yeah, so I feel this will be a pretty good fight. I see people are leaning towards Court McGee. Court McGee got knocked out badly, if I remember, by Jeremiah Wells a year ago. And then Matt Brown's last fight was against Barberena, was it not? Yeah, split decision against Barberena. He looked good in that fight. Oh, man, damn, that was a while ago, too. Damn, was that really more than a year ago? Jesus. All right, I don't know. I'm going to lean towards Matt Brown. I'm gonna get to Matt Brown. I don't think he'll get KO. I think his KO years are behind him, but that's possible. I'm gonna lean towards Matt Brown. Tim Means versus Alex Morono should be a fun fight. I'm gonna lean towards Alex Morono. He did pretty good off the couch against Santiago Ponzinibbio, so I like better what I've seen from him against Tim Means. Was Tim Means' last fight against Kevin Holland, or do you have someone in between? Oh, Max Griffin, a split decision. Yeah, we've seen the ceiling of Tim Means, and Morono's got some good power in his hands. Gonna lean towards him. Io Pateria versus Carlos Ulberg. People hate on Io Pateria for his fight against Shogun and the dance he did. That's his thing, and he modified it so he didn't shoot Io Pateria. But regardless, Carlos Ulberg, I feel, is going to run through him. I feel he's going to see him run through him. Carlos Ulberg, ever since going to City Kickboxing, has shown he's shown massive improvements. I'm very high on him. I think he's going to take out Io Pateria, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to say KO. Ian Machado Gary versus D-Rod. This is going to be a ranking fight for Ian Gary. I think the odds are a little too crazy, to be honest with you. I'm going to lean towards Gary. I'm not a fan of D-Rod. I'm really not. Not like how he is as a person, but how he is as a fighter. I think he's super slow compared to Ian Gary, and Ian Gary has much more crispier combos. D-Rod just has more solid boxing fundamentals, but he did not look good against Magny. He did not look good against Li Jilang, the Leech. Honestly, Leech should have won that. Last time D-Rod honestly looked good, in my opinion, was against Kevin Lee. An aging, overbloated Kevin Lee. I'm going to lean towards Ian Gary. I'm not going to say the line's that big because Ian Gary can get caught, but just because he got dropped once doesn't mean he's garbage or he has a poop chin. He got dropped, got back up, and got the W. I feel he could beat D-Rod on decision. It might be a little bit hard to take him out because D-Rod's pretty tanky unless you're going to submit him, and Gary's not submitting him. But regardless, good lean towards Ian Gary. The co-main event, which was actually the main event at one point, but they decided no, which makes sense, to be honest with you, because they don't need 5 rounds. They really don't. Anthony Smith is a finisher in the sense of either he finishes them or they finish him. Johnny Walker, other than the Thiago Santos fight, is a finisher in a sense of you finish him or he finishes you. Why would people upset that this is not the main event? It did not need 5 rounds. It doesn't even need 3. Regardless of what you bet on this fight, just bet finish. Just bet under 2.5 or finish or something like that. The odds makers have it pretty much even. I can see it. We could see Smith bring out his wrestling and take down Walker. Smith doesn't crack like he used to anymore, bowling up to light heavyweight, but he might be able to knock him out, to be perfectly honest with you. But or Johnny Walker can go out there and just blitz him, because Johnny Walker is one of the most athletic freaks of nature, and I've shat on his chin many times before, and I will do that to the ends of the earth. But he did look really good against Kutalaba and Craig. He looked really good. I'm not even gonna lie. He looked great against them. But yeah, I don't know. I feel it should be a fun fight. And then we get to the main event. Wow, I spent a lot of time on that fight night. That's how you know it's a good fight night, by the way. That's a really good fight night, honestly. It's solid. But yes, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, or as I like to call him, Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Jailton Almeida. Now, first let's get into Rozenstruik. No, wait, first the tail of the tape. I got to do that. This is going to be a heavyweight bout. A heavyweight bout. They're lower ranking. They're Joe Rozenstruik is bottom top 10. Jailton Almeida is top 15. But this is going to be for the future of the heavyweight division by far. Rozenstruik is going to be 35 years of age, 13 wins, 4 losses, 12 knockouts, only 1 win by a decision. No submissions, 6'2" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 78-inch reach disadvantage, not a damn takedown to his name. He is a kickboxer through and through. 51.20% significant strike accuracy, which for a kickboxer is pretty low, to be perfectly honest with you. Plus 400 underdog. My God. Wow. Significant wins over, I had to put it, because he had nobody else, I had to put it, Chris Daukaus, Augusto Sakai, Junior Dos Santos, and Alistair Overeem. There's a theme with all of those 4 wins that I'll get into. Sitting across from is Jailton Almeida, 31 years of age, 18 wins, 2 losses, 7 KOs, 11 submissions, 6'3" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 79-inch reach, advantage, takedown average of 6.73, a 69.86% significant strike accuracy, a -550 favorite with significant wins over Shamil Abdurrahimov. I tried. I'm so sorry. Antoine. I hate all the names of your opponents, Almeida. I hate them. I've tried practicing them too. I just cannot pronounce. I cannot pronounce these names. Turakalji. I've heard it before and I just can't say it. My brain won't let me do it. And then Parker Porter. Parker Porter, a man who lost me money last weekend. But yes. Rozenstruik. So, Rozenstruik's only key to victory. All he has is knocking out the opponent. Rozenstruik, if you don't know, came into UFC as a very highly touted, people were hyped for him. People who, if you know who they were, they were hyped for him because of a very illustrious kickboxing background. Yes, he had his kickboxing background. 76 wins, 64 by knockout. He was like an Israel Adesanya coming in here like, oh my God, this dude just fights, kickboxes, knocks people out, and now he's coming to UFC. This dude's gonna be amazing, right? And he just never lived up to his potential. He just was disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. Like, he's got power, make no mistake. He's got a lot of power in his hands. He could definitely crack, but why I call him Rozenstruik is because he stands in front of his opponent and he just doesn't do anything. His wins against Augusto Sakai, which was a first round knockout. So you're thinking, oh man, he had a first round knockout against Augusto Sakai, who's not horrible in the heavyweight division. So you're like, man, that must be amazing. He looked awful in that because he just stood in front of him, danced around him, and every time there's a chance to engage, and he didn't engage. Oh, there's this chance to engage. Oh, he didn't engage. And then finally in the last, he got a knockout, I believe, in the last second or something like that. Literally, I gotta look at it, but literally I believe it was in the last second. Yeah, the last second. He got that KO. And yeah, that's great and all that, but you got to look at how it was. Then Chris Daukaus, he blitzed him. Absolutely just blitzed him. But here's the thing. It's Chris freaking Daukaus. Chris Daukaus is one of the worst fighters in the UFC. I'm sorry, the Daukaus brothers are poopy, and one of them's already gone. Chris Daukaus is probably going to follow suit with, I believe he's fighting... Who's he fighting next? It's a really bad matchup, I believe. But wherever the case is, it's not looking good for Chris Daukaus. So getting a win over him, it doesn't really do it. Oh my God, he's fighting Khalil Rozenstruik Jr. dropping that light heavyweight. He's dead. Daukaus is dead. Daukaus is dead. I forgot about that. I report on that. But yeah, that's not a good win for Bigi Boy. It's not a good win for him. And then Augusto Sakai. Then besides that, his other most significant wins are Junior Dos Santos and Alistair Overeem. What's the problem with that? Junior Dos Santos is old as hell. A Junior Dos Santos in 2020 means absolutely nothing. And Alistair Overeem, he's not fighting Ubereem, he's fighting Overeem. Only person of note Overeem was somehow able to beat was a fresh debuting Sergey Pavlovich. Other than that, Overeem, nah. And yeah, those wins aren't good for Rozenstruik. And like I said, when he came into UFC, we were all so hyped for him. But you look at his career, and he ran into Francis Ngannou, destroyed him, annihilated him. Francis showed him no respect, 20-second KO. Cyril Gane just fight him. That's the thing. You're exclusive kickboxer. You are only a kickboxer, and you got out kickboxed by a kickboxer. And then he got UD'd by Blades. And then he got knocked the living hell out of him by Volkov. Swolkov too. So like I'm just there's no hype behind Rozenstruik, but he can still win this fight because Jailton Almeida is a smaller heavyweight, used to compete at light heavyweight. He's smaller. Biggie Boy can crack him. That's it. That's the only aspect. Yeah, I just spent the last like God knows how long just trash talking Rozenstruik. Sorry, but I have to tell it like it is. That's all he's got. Jailton Almeida though, look at his record, look at his KOs, and look at his submissions. Can you add that up? Can you do that math for me? That is 18. Can you look at how many wins he has? 18. Yes, he has 100% finish rate. 100%. 100%. He is a pure finisher with 13 first-round finishes, 7 knockouts, 11 submissions, finishes up for days. This is what you want to see. And the thing is too, he's a grappler. Yes, a grappler that doesn't lay and pray. He is a heavyweight grappler that finishes, goes exclusively for the finishes, and hasn't seen a third round since 2018. You love it. I love that because the thing is, trust me, I'm a just bleed guy. I love stand, I love swing, I love bang. I love standing, swinging, and banging. But I hate when people go like, I don't want to watch MMA because it's all grapplers. You know why? Because it's grapplers like freaking Curtis Blades, or like, I like boring grapplers like something like that. But then you have actual exciting grapplers like a Khabib Nurmagomedov, later Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Islam Makhachev. Like you have like people like that who are and Jailton Almeida who are like exciting grapplers. Those are the people that I want to see more of. And Jailton Almeida, whoo, man, he'll take you down to the ground and he will beat the living life out of you. He has a high significant strikes landed per minute. He has so you can tell he's very active. He has a very high striking accuracy. He has, well, that doesn't seem right, but he lands his takedowns. He's very good in almost all aspects. The only issues I've seen with him is he's smaller. That's really it. Like I feel like he's sound defensively, sound in a lot of his moves. He does have that high like push kick or that high teep, which he then transitions into a double leg. Now, while it's a good crafty maneuver, much like a Robert Whittaker and his sneaky high kick, the thing is everyone knows about it. Biggie Boy is not dumb. He's definitely seen that. The second he sees him throw up the high kick, you know what you need to do, Biggie Boy? You need to throw an uppercut. You need to take that shit. You need to take that hit and throw an uppercut right at Jailton Almeida, and that's the only way you're really going to be getting a win out of him. And that's a pretty easy knockout blow possibly set up for. But otherwise, Jailton Almeida gets him down to the ground with that 6.73 takedown average. What's Biggie Boy going to do on the ground? What's he going to do on the ground? I could see Almeida beating the living piss out of him on the ground, or I could see him submitting him. I don't think this goes past round 1, and I'm going to give every advantage possible Jailton Almeida. My lock, you want to bet on this fight, because Almeida being at a minus 550 or minus 500, however the line is, that's death sentence. That's only a parlay piece, and even then, like, what you getting from that parlay piece? So you know what you do, you take him by finish, because Biggie Boy is not getting past that. He's not getting past, at very best, he gets past round 1. It's not going past round 2. Jailton Almeida is the future of the heavyweight division. I know, I'm really, really crapping at Rozenstruik, and you guys should know by now that I don't like doing that because it blows up in your face usually. But I said it with Sergey. I was so adamant and confident with Sergey. I'm doing the same thing with Jailton. I fully picture once you get freaking Jones' ass out of there, the heavyweight title is going to be a 3-way round-robin contention, title constantly shifting between Jailton Almeida, Sergey Pavlovich, and Tom Aspinall if he comes back healthy. I'm telling you right now, man, these are the future. These guys are amazing. 100% finish rate against solid competition. Shamil, not bad. Anton, not bad. Parker Porter, not the best, but the thing is, like, Parker Porter, yeah, he's poopy, but he took him out round 1. So you did what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to, if it would look bad if he really struggled with him. He had no issues with him. He really made Parker Porter look like the level he's at compared to Jailton Almeida. I'm going to lean towards Jailton Almeida by finish. Round 1 if you want to be spicy. I'm excited for this fight overall. I hope there's going to be a lot of eyes now on Jailton Almeida because it's going to be on ABC. The only thing as I will say is, guys, please keep in mind that these cards are going to be pretty early. Like for me, it's going to be starting around like 10:30 or something like that. So make sure you wake up for it. Make sure you watch it. It's going to be a good one. This has been your boy Gomi. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Bye-bye.